is on the topic police planning on patrol planning on and operations and public communications. So everyone actually has a goal. Even in life, we have a goal. And of course, before attaining or achieving that goal, we need to plan. Planning increases our chances in attaining or achieving that certain goal. Even the agency itself, when I say an agency, it means in the criminology department, it means the PNP. Even the agency itself, planning is one essential part of attaining certain goals. So moving on to police planning. In the Handbook of Patrol Operations, Mario Garcia stated that planning is a bridge gap from where you are to where you want to go. Just a simple explanation, parang basic lang siya. Even you as college student, it states, planning is a bridge gap from where you are. Right now, you are a college student. And where do you want to go? Of course, to your
profession.
To your profession, to your achievements, or your goals. Your goals. So planning helps us increase our chances in attaining our goal. Also in police planning, there are elements that involve in achieving goals. One element would be, how are you going to achieve that certain goal? Or in what way are you going to achieve that certain goal? And that is your course of action. And when you start, and if you had already known that course of action, the next thing you have to know is to who will be the one doing such course of action, which is the individuals. Individuals or persons involved in doing such course of action. Then you move on to what the individuals need in order to start that course of action up to achieving that goal. And that is your resources. And if you have your resources, you have your individuals, you know your course of action, you have to know where are you going to start that course of action, the environment or your place. And the last element will be your time duration. To how long will it take from the start of your course of action up to attaining your goal. But before achieving that goal, you must first achieve different objectives. Always remember, objectives comes first before a goal. Because objectives are your determiners or evaluators to whether or not you are on the right path of achieving your goal. But if all else fails, you have encountered a problem that on that first course of action you have done, that you cannot achieve that goal, then you have to make alternatives. Alternatives is another form of course of action or another course of action in which it would still attain that goal. Then it means you have to start your planning again. As you can see, planning is a never-ending process. It would only end if you had attained that goal. So how do we apply it in police planning? First element, remember, is your goal. What is the main goal of the police? In your introduction to criminology, it had been discussed on the part of the four functions of the police: crime prevention, crime investigation, traffic supervision, and promoting public safety. And of course, crime prevention would always come first, because if crime prevention will be achieved, then there would be no crime investigation, traffic supervision, and promoting public safety. Why? If crimes can be prevented, then there are no crimes that will be investigated, right? If traffic laws are followed, then there is no need of traffic supervision. If the public feels safe, then there is no need of promoting public safety. We have the so-called term police omnipresence in the criminology. Police omnipresence is...
Gusto ko mayakan talaga ako.
Police omnipresence is the state or feeling of fear of the criminals and that feeling of safety of the public even without the presence of a police officer.
Yes. That is police omnipresence. The feeling or state of fear of a criminal even without the presence of a police. How is that possible? Remember, if there is a police officer, a criminal would always feel what? Anyone?
Fear.
A criminal would feel fear, of course. But if you are, let's just say, one of the public, one of the community, if there is a police officer present in your community, then you would feel safe, of course. We have the so-called police omnipresence, that feeling of fear of the criminals, that feeling of safety of the public, even without the presence of the police. That people are used to this state na every time they would be in Katbalogan, they know there is a great amount of police officers, determined police officers, they would always feel safe. Even there's no police officers around, they know that crimes are being prevented. That is police omnipresence. Starting your police plan, what will be your course of action in order to attain police omnipresence? There are plenty. Anyone who has an idea on how police omnipresence or any course of action that the PMP, let's say, or the police officers or the head of the police officers will do to the simplest formula, crime prevention.
High penalties.
High penalties. Do their duties well. Quick or fast action of the police officer. How do we attain quick or fast action of the police officers? If there are plenty of officers within a certain area, then of course there will be fast action. Or let's just say there is an increased number of increased police visibility. Increasing police visibility will increase our chances in establishing police omnipresence. That would be our course of action. What would be our resources? The things needed in order to attain, individuals who would be the ones doing such course of action, which is increasing police visibility. Of course, you as police or patrol officers. What are the things needed? Your resources, things needed in order for you to start your course of action. Let's just say equipments and even your human resource. And to where are we going to apply such course of action? Let's just say in an area where different types of community, different types of areas, different types of people, to where are we going to increase police visibility? In what type of areas? Yes, sir? Highly organized centers. With those highly organized centers, there are areas which are prone to crimes. Let's say crime
Prone
areas. Now, let's move on to the objectives or the determinants of how are we going to establish police omnipresence. Our determinants would be, number one, if there is an increased level of, if there is increased police visibility, then of course the level of crime prevention will also be increased. That is one. What would be next? I'm going to give you a tip. How about in crime investigation? What would happen with the level in crime investigation? It would be faster. Yes.
Ano?
If there is an increasing amount of crime prevention, then crime investigation will decrease, of course. There are no longer crimes passed to crime investigation.
Kaya mapip.
Then, once crimes are now being prevented, there is an increased amount of police officers on the field, then the criminals would feel feared, right? That is one objective. Criminals establishing fear to the would-be criminals. And once the criminals feel fear, then the public would feel
Safe.
safe. Let's just say your time duration, let's split that into 5 years. In 5 years, people are now used with the increased level of crime prevention. Crimes are now being prevented. Then of course, even if you walk in a place that there is no police officer on that area, we would still feel safe. That is police omnipresence. But again, if all else fail, then you have to make alternatives again and be brought back to
Plan.
planning.